Tell us a little bit about your early childhood in being in Greece, where you were born, and how life was where you were.
Well, I was born on the island of Icaria, approximately 250 nautical miles east of Athens. It is 98 square miles, and it has approximately 800,000, I'm sorry, 8,000 people in the wintertime, permanent residents. And nowadays, in the summertime, about 250,000 people visit Icaria during the summer. The years I was raised and grown up in Icaria, we rarely had any tourists.
What year was that?
That was a year, I was born in 1951. It was some of the most beautiful years that I remember, of course, pure, innocent years. The life was the simplest life you can imagine. We were at home, but also every other household was totally self-efficient. Everything we needed for the house, we had to begin from zero to until the time we had to collect it, either for the moment, for the summer, for the winter, for the year round. So we were 100% self-efficient. When it comes to anything you can imagine that a household will need, we had it.
You left Icaria at 14.
Yes.
For what reason did you leave at that age and then go to Athens?
I had all my sisters lived in Athens, my family, and I had to go to high school. I needed to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And the high school in Icaria was far from where my village was. So it was more convenient for me to be in Athens. And so that was the idea.
So how long did you stay in Athens?
So in Athens, I stayed up until I finished the high school, and it was time for me to go. I was drawn to, the army was mandatory, still is. So I went to serve my duties in the army. I was 18 and a half, I believe. I started from Kalamata. I served 3 months, and I went to Athens for another training for another 3 months, and then I was sent up in northern Greece, and I stayed there for 2 years. Then I was discharged. I was intending to go to the university in Athens, but then I heard, because my brother, my brother Theodosi, who opened up Icar in 1969, was in Baltimore, and my two sisters were in Baltimore, and I had cousins. And I also heard there was a music school in Baltimore, which was famous.
What was that?
Which is Peabody. So I said, this is what my intention was, to study composition in music. So I said, great, I'm going to go there, be with my family, go to school, do what I like to do. I came, it was November the 17th of the year 1975. The next day I went down I came Wednesday. Thursday I went down to Peabody with a gentleman who actually was Paul Yanas. I don't know if you know him.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Paul took me down there.
Yes, I know Paul.
So we went and we talked, and they said, you cannot start now because the semester already has started, but you have to wait to January.
Mm-hmm.
I understood that. I said, okay, I'll come back. Well, reality took over, and here I am.
Mm-hmm.
I never made the time. I was involved in music. I did my own, whatever I did, but I did not go to do what I really was dreaming of doing. I was always a painter from early years in my life. So I went to an art school, and my teacher, whose name was Harry Z. Hoffman, he was up in Pikesville. One day he said to me something that I will never forget. He said to me, don't ever try, if you want to paint something of something, don't ever try to make it the way it looks. If you do that, then might as well take a camera, take a picture of it, and put it on the wall and get it over with. Don't waste your time. So in other words, he was trying to unearth my creativity in a very different way. And he did. I remember that part. So the same with the music. If you try to play the music other people play, then might as well take a tape recorder and tape it. And
Right. Now I noticed, talking about art, I noticed some artwork around here, like right above you, the violinist. Did you create this yourself? Did you
yes,
do
this is my own paint. This is gentleman here used to play violin on the island. He passed away. He may rest in peace now, but he was playing regularly violin,
And he was from. You painted this in Greece?
and I painted here. His name is Mikes.
Yes, but he came to America.
No, every time I would go to Greece, every time I would go home, he would come home and play there as long as we would just sitting by the fireplace, and he would play and play and play. So to honor him, I did a portrait of him.
Can you tell us a little bit about the painting, maybe the textures, what hues, what colors you use? It's very interesting.
Well, this is oil painting. I use oils.
Okay.
And again, a lot of people say this is an impressionistic resembling this guy, Seurat or Gauguin or whatever. But I said, but then they come closer to see it really is not none of them. It's possibly it's my own. Possibly, I'm not sure if it's my own style. But I use brush strokes, and I just go the whole thing with brush strokes from top to bottom. I don't go around making baskets or making circles with it. I just keep painting and painting and painting until whatever comes out. And this is what came out.
What was your impression when you came to Baltimore? Your first impression, here you are, the first time in America, I guess. You're 18 years old.
No, I'm 23.
You were 23? Okay. You were 23 years
After I got out of the army, after I finished with
That's
my
why you
duties.
mentioned you were in the Army. When you came to America and you saw, was it the what you thought America would be like, or was it completely different?
It was there to be explored. I was not aware of what I will encounter. Familiar things, plenty. I mean, faces, people, scenery, sounds. I was it was an adjusting period that I had to go through, but it did not take
Tell me more
long.
about that. Of course, coming to a newness would be adjusting, but how was it, in what way did you have to adjust?
So the adjustment was, first of all, to master the language to be able to communicate with the environment. It was a priority. I already had, in Greece, already had a schooling of Latin and French in high school. So I was speaking those two languages, plus the Greek, of course. But then that helped me a lot to get into English. I had some training, like an intense course, about a couple months in Athens before I got here. When I came here, as I said, I started working. I had interaction with the people because I was working. I started all the jobs in the restaurant to make sure that I know what I'm doing. And then I went to school. There was a class, English class in Towson Library, and I was there. I went there. I signed up, and I thought I was going to learn English, but what they were teaching, it was already behind me. So I told my teacher, Carol, her name was, I said, Carol, I'm sorry, I have to stop because I'm wasting my time.
You knew it already.
I already knew what they were doing. And so that was the first thing. And then the lifestyle, because of my Greek background and the people that I was affiliated with, it was not that far like a shock for me because the Greek churches, the Greek people, the Greek culture, it was within reach. So I was never deprived of being like, I missed terribly where I came from. And my first, of course, experience was with the Annunciation, where I became a member, and Father Munoz was my spiritual guide up until, and still he is. Sometimes I refer to him with my memories.
May I ask you this, manager, interject? Because Icaros being in the Highlandtown area, St. Nicholas being very close by, what inspired you to, let's say, choose Annunciation?
First of all, St. Nicholas was always my church because it's within reach.
Right,
The church, it doesn't matter, it's just an address.
right,
God is all
absolutely.
above and beyond. There were a lot of people that I knew at the Annunciation that it made me more comfortable to be part of it. And I also really, I think it's one of the most beautiful churches I know, the Annunciation. It is, it really transpires a lot of faith and love for what I know when it comes to religion, when I'm in it, at it. And it still is. That's what Annunciation is. The environment there is like, it really uplifts me very much. I was also into photography. I don't know if I told you that.
No, you didn't.
I was also a photographer. I had some exhibitions in Baltimore, in Washington.
Did you go to school to learn photography?
I did not have to go to school to learn photography. I started photography also in my very early years. And I proceeded by befriending professional photographers that they taught me how to, not only to take a picture is to make a picture, of course, not take a picture, make a picture. The continuity of that was to develop it. And that's what I was told while I was in Athens and here. I was fortunate to have people that were very kind, very willing, very knowledgeable. And throughout the years, I lived my life in doing just that, working, doing art, enjoying art, doing just all the right things until the time came for me to get married, which was like, you cannot escape karma, as they say. I thought I was probably going to support the rest of I am the youngest of 9. So I have about 20 nieces and nephews. So I thought I was going to just devote my love and my life to them. But then, as I said, as they say in Greek, to pepromenon figin adinaton. So I got married, and so then Constantino came, my son. He's 27 years old now. It was the most beautiful thing in the world, for me as well, like everybody else. It's like a window or a door that you go through that you don't even know exists. What's on the other side is, you cannot describe. The beauty, the feelings, the pain, the anticipation, the worries, all that. It's a bundle. But above and most of all, when you look at the eyes of your children or your child, it's like looking at the eyes of God.
You came in 1975. Have you noticed any, and I'm sure you have, but specify how many, the changes that may have occurred from 1975 to now, 2020, you've noticed between the in the Greek American community?
I sometimes say I probably was the last immigrant, but I wasn't. But there is a lot of all the people that I knew, and they became part of my everyday life, that they are no longer with us. That's a thing that also bothers me a lot, that people, they passed. So that makes my life very difficult. So from the time I came to now, you used to walk down here like in Greek town, as they call it, and there will be homes with, you can see the basils, the basilico on the window, or the garifala.
Yes.
You could walk on the street and hear a car playing Greek music coming out of the window. You could walk down the street and 1, 2, or 10 people will converse in Greek as you walk by them or they walk by you. And now it's not so. Things did change. Now, of course, again, it's a trend here in East Baltimore, from the beginning of the century, maybe before. All races like the Jews, the Polish people, Italians, the Germans, they all came in this area, migrated East Baltimore at first. And then they moved to Rosedale, and they moved to Townsend, and they moved somewhere else. The Greeks followed the same trend, the same exact trend. So there are not that many left behind here where we are at. Maybe 100 families, maybe less. But then when I came, it was definitely 500 families.
Right in Highland Town.
In Highland, in Greektown. Another factor that played a big role in kind of like making the Greek thing a little peculiar, different than it used to be, is the internet. The internet brought so much into every household, into your bedroom, into your kitchen, into your car, that we used to have 2 or 3 stores that they were affiliated with Greek culture. Kendrico, Athnaiko, and then you could find things around, like the Wedding Bell, or those places no more. Then when it comes to Greek food, Greek cooking, it used to be 3, 4 grocery stores. Now there is probably only 1 left.
Primo.
Yes, that's the one. That's a different story, because you knew the people, you loved the interaction. Whatever that was, it was like a hardcore Greek. Now you can call Amazon and get it from. The music, you need no more music stores or things like that. You just press a button. So we are still in a transitional period, I will say. The Greeks will never stop being Greeks. It's a flame, it's a hardcore DNA that cannot be changed, because it's been for so many hundreds or thousands of years. So it's not easy to put water in it. It doesn't take water. But here at Icarus, I try every day to maintain, to serve, to make the non-Greeks, or the ones that have doubts, reassure them that the Greek thing is still here. It is worth living, experiencing. It is, and I said to a lot of people, we've been cooking, for instance, when it comes to cooking, for 5,000 years. We got it to it. We don't want to change it. It ain't broken. It's been the mothers, the great-great-great-great-grandmothers did a marvelous job to create what they did. Or artists, the architectures, the thinkers, they got it. You cannot change it, whether it was Aristotle or Plato or whoever that was.
Right.
You cannot change it.
Right.
Those are the principles. Those are the foundation of our civilization, at least the Western civilization.
Right. Right.
So I'm very proud, and I'm honored to be part of it. And here I am.
Right.
Talking about
Beautifully said.